So we get the fight between we see Lilith and Edison rushing out to stop the Seraphim, and then Lilith makes it out, and then she prepares to give her order to the Seraphim. She calls out to him, but then we see S Hawk, little Mihawk, prepare to take out Lilith, but Zoro stops little Mihawk, aka S Hawk. And then he says something that I seen that was very interesting to S Hawk. He says you're more. He said you're not. You're actually a little more human than him. He says now that I get a better look at you, you're actually a little more human than him. What what the hell is Zoro talking about? Because what Br what did you get, man? Like why did Zoro say that S Hawk is a little more human than Mihawk? You know, I know there's theories out there that Mihawk could be a sword, or a clobotoman of Yoru specifically.
I'd
Is
say it would be like personality. Like the world government could have put the personality that they think Mihawk has into the film or something, because it's not like Mihawk works for the government every single day. It's like on super well occasions that Mihawk goes to see the world government, or even Vegapunk for that matter. I don't even know if you ever seen Vegapunk.
Yeah, yeah, we
Yeah,
didn't.
personality.
We never got anything about Mihawk seeing Vegapunk, but
Yeah, and emotions too. We seen Bo the ass snake have emotions too, but she couldn't defy orders. So I think like the main difference is that can't defy orders, and that their personality represents what the government thinks their personality is.
yeah. So you pretty much think when Zoro said that it was just more of a personality thing, like like Mihawk's more human, or Mihawk's just super cold, like he's just a cold blooded individual.
Yeah, but the world government isn't aware of that fact.
But my question
Um,
is, how would Zoro know about S Hawk's personality? You know, he says, because he said, and everything he said was based on looks. He says, now that I get a better look at you, you're actually a little more human than him.
his facial expressions, like how he was reacting and stuff.
That's true.
I mean,
We never really
Mihawk
seen
kind of
Mihawk
had
sweat
like,
like that.
I mean, there was the panel when Zoro brought out the three worlds move, like in their first interaction,
Uh huh.
where Mihawk kind of had the same facial expression that S Hawk does. But
I have to see that panel. 'Cause I don't remember
bro,
what you're
it's
talking
way
about.
better.
I just don't remember what
It's
you're
way
talking about. This was during their first fight.
Yeah, back in Barate.
Like Mihawk was like sweating, like he was a little worried. Like,
There was like a sweat, like a one drop of sweat or whatever. He had a different facial expression.
you sure it wasn't because he was just kind of shocked at the gall of this guy? Like, dang,
I
this
mean,
guy's
maybe.
this guy's actually a little brave. He actually has a little potential. he actually has a little. Where I feel as though with S Hawk, it might be he's sweating because Zoro's just superior to him. Like that's kind of what I got from that moment. You know, I'm just saying versus the Mihawk version. Like I don't think Mihawk
Right.
was worried that Zoro would actually be a threat to him versus S Hawk. I could see Zoro being superior to the current S Hawk as of now. You know what I mean? So it seemed like S Hawk was a little seemed a little more worried though. Like, oh, this guy's a little strong. You know, he's gonna be a little strong for me. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't know. I had to see that panel that you're talking about though before I make a judgment on that. You know,
I've almost found it. Hold on. But can I go for what you were talking about?
yeah,
For
go
all
ahead.
that.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought you was finished.
because no, for the whole what Zoro was saying about S-Hawk and Mihawk. Um, like I think, like I've said it before, I think the eyes that Mihawk has that he shares with Emu is like a sign of having the immortality surgery. So I think like him being less human or whatever has to do with like him being immortal, and then that would also play into the whole Dracula motif that that Mihawk has.
You know that kind of plays into. I know I'm cutting you off. It kind of would make me get the feeling that Oda was inspired by Highlander. Like, you ever seen the show Highlander? Any
No,
of
I
y'all?
haven't.
Well, Highlander is about a show where it's like it's a show about these people that they're immortals. They're all immortals. Like, I mean, there's like normal humans too, but there's like a lot of immortals, and the main character, he's an immortal, and the purpose is like there's this like saying in the show that there can only be one, right? There can only be one immortal left, right? So only immortals could really kill other immortals, and they kill them by beheading them, and they usually all like sword fights, like it's all like swords and stuff, right? So when you behead your opponent, the you know, like their immortality just kind of is done and they're dead, right? And then every other immortal living, I think, kind of shares their power, I guess. Or I think you have to be close. It might be you have to be close to the death in order to get like some of that power, right? So the more immortals you kill, the more powerful you are, or the stronger you are, right? And
Right.
the main character was like he's a Scottish, like he was like born in Scotland back in like the old days, and he's like he exists pretty much to like the modern day, which was like the 80s or the 90s at that point. So it's giving me the feeling like if Mihawk is an immortal, it's gonna give me that feeling, especially him being a swordsman. And in the show, most of them were like swordsmen, or they fight with swords. So I don't know. It just kind of gave me that type of vibe, with especially Mihawk being a swordsman and all that. But yeah. But go ahead. My bad. I know I
Yeah, no,
interrupted what you were saying.
that's what I was thinking. Like when he said you're more human than him,
Yeah.
because like I definitely think uh Oda's like gone with the whole Dracula thing with Mihawk, especially with the name and the like the cross that he wears.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I did send that panel from the Baratie in the VC chat.
All right. And and the thing about that as well, right? It would make sense why Mihawk is so like, let's say if Mihawk existed for like a long time, you know, maybe that's why he's so cold, because like he's seen so much. So it's like,
Hmm.
you know, like being immortal would like it will.
Yeah, you lose your humanity over the years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You become dull to things. You probably lost so many people that you love, so you know you become numb to death and everything. So it could make sense based off his character, right? But when I think back in Logtown, when Goldie Roger was
Yeah, that's the
executed
problem.
and he was there, Mihawk seemed a little younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he younger, thinner. It did seem like he was like in his early 20s.
Yeah. So
So that's a pushback I have. In which
yeah, I'm.
also we've had
Go ahead, cute. Go ahead. I'll let you go.
also he's shown panels as them as kids, and there's a lot of thing, and the fact that he gave him age for Oda gave him age to Mihawk. That's why I think they gave a specific age, where 43 years ago Mihawk was born. That's the thing that bothers me.
Yeah.
So that's a problem with it. But I do think that there is something old about him. I'm wondering if instead of being old, I think he got privy to some information, and that's why he always says he's bored, because boredom is when you want to do something, but you can't find anything to do, and you know you're about to do something, so you're bored until that moment. So I'm wondering if Mihawk has a lack of humanity because he got so bored. He's a bit like Shikamaru, but with a passion to fight everybody else. But he
Yeah.
just got numb to it. He became numb to it until that moment arrives. And I think Zoro might be like the first person that's reawakened his. And we know that he has stopped fighting with Shanks as well. He's even lost the will to fight Shanks because he lost an arm. So
Yeah.
I do think that it could also be a more mental, the fact that he's lost his humanity.
He's hurt, man. You know, he lost his best friend. I mean, he didn't lose his best. His best friend's still alive, but you know,
Yeah, I know.
when his best friend lost his arm, he lost his best friend. You know, he's like, you serve no purpose to
Hey
me no
yo.
more, Shanks.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Hey yo.
That
Might as
was
well
sus.
be
That was
dead
sus.
if he can't fight with a sword anymore with one arm.
He does fight with a sword.
It's like
With one arm.
Well, he can still fight with a sword, but
he can, but it's like what like
what would be the point?
it's like beating a man with one arm. You don't get no glory in that, you know. But then losing to a man with one arm, just now you look bad, you know. So it's like,
Yeah, that's why he don't want to fight Shanks no more.
nah, it's like, but I'm saying like if you're in a situation where it's like when men fight women, right? Like if you a man, you beat a woman, a lot of people don't give you no props for that. They're like, bro, you don't get no credit for that. But if you lose, it's like,
Why?
man, you
Why
lost.
did you even fight
lost
her?
to her, huh?
But why did you even fight her?
Fight the girl. I'm saying if it's
Yeah.
like a boxing match, right? Like it's a
I had
boxing
to put
match.
the bitch in her place.
But if you win, it's like you don't get credit for that. Oh, you don't get no props for beating. You know what I'm saying? But if you lose, it's like, bro, people gonna clown you. Like, bro, you was not supposed to lose that. You know what I mean? So it's like it's catch-22 in those situations. You know, so I don't blame Mihawk. I don't blame him. But yeah, so I guess we're going with the idea that it's more of just his Mihawk's, I guess, demeanor. You know, like he just he doesn't have much of a human demeanor. So Mihawk kind of views Mihawk as more of like non-human because he's just so cold-hearted. Where we see the Seraphim seems like he has a little more emotion. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So is that kind of the explanation we rolling with?
Mm-hmm.
Been his personality as a kid as well.
Yeah, it might be.
Also, I'm gonna say this, because we're all together. I think we should send a petition to Oda to replace this Seraphim with the real Mihawk, since Mihawk is actually very weak. And we can get like a real #1 swordsman.
I'm just going to chalk that up as Cube smoking the crack cocaine.